In this video, I'm going to be covering the concept of Ecell. Ecell will tell us more about an electrochemical reaction and which way this reaction is able to proceed. It does this by measuring the potential difference between the cathode reaction and anode reaction. So when we think of a potential difference, we can think of a situation where something wants to move from an area of high potential to low potential. So the way we define potential difference in an electrochemical reaction is with voltage. Ecell has the units of volts. So we can think of Ecell as a way to measure how much our redox reaction, that is our oxidation and reduction reaction in our electrochemical cell, wants to proceed. So if we have an Ecell value that is greater than 0, we know that this is going to be a spontaneous reaction. Now, why is this the case? If Ecell is greater than 0, that means that we have a greater than 0 potential difference, otherwise known as a positive voltage, where we want to move the reaction from a high potential to a low potential. Now, when we say a low potential, we essentially want to get this reaction to equilibrium. So our electrochemical cell can be broken down into a potential difference where we are going to run that reaction as long as there is a potential difference greater than 0. Might I add that this potential difference being greater than 0 makes this chemical reaction spontaneous. Now, when the potential difference between the cathode and the anode is 0, we will no longer have a driving force to run this reaction. Therefore, Ecell will be equal to 0, and we have now established equilibrium. And remember, every single reaction is trying to get to equilibrium eventually. Now, if we have an Ecell that is less than 0, this reaction will not be spontaneous. In other words, if we were to set up an electrochemical cell and measure that the potential difference between the anode and cathode reactions was negative, this reaction will not occur unless we were able to hook up this electrochemical cell to an external energy source. So Ecell, which is measured in volts, measures the potential difference, or essentially the desire for this redox reaction in an electrochemical cell to proceed spontaneously. So if there is a positive voltage value, we know that Ecell will be positive. This will be a spontaneous reaction. If Ecell is equal to 0, we have now closed that potential difference down to 0, and we will be at equilibrium in our redox reaction. And if Ecell is less than 0, that means that this electrochemical cell will not run spontaneously at all unless we were able to hook up this electrochemical cell to an external energy source, I should say. So Ecell is going to be very important moving forward and is going to be very important when we answer questions that have to do with electrochemistry.